Now, the comedian Helen Lederer, perhaps best known for playing Katrina in Absolutely Fabulous, has had a career spanning 4 decades, appearing alongside the likes of French and Saunders, Rick Mayall and Harry Enfield.
But now Helen has decided to go solo and tell her own story in her own way, in her own memoir. It's called Not That I'm Bitter, which looks at both the funny and the darker sides of being in the male-dominated comedy scene in the 1980s.
We will be joined by Helen here on the sofa in just a second, but first, let's see her in action.
Yes, and then there are these really lovely recherche kidding slippers.
Lovely.
And chairs. I thought might be quite interesting. I've got a friend who's got a shop with some lovely chairs in it.
Jocasta?
Yes. And she believes chairs are as important to civilization as a masterpiece. Or something. I wrote it down somewhere. So, we could print that up and do some lovely photos.
It's so nice to meet genuine aristocracy for a change. There are so many fakers.
You're not wrong there, my dear.
I believe that your heart will go on. Once more, I open the door, and you're here in my heart. Go on. It's the kiss now. No, don't get funny. Don't get funny. I'm the makeup artist on the Titanic.
Cut!
No, but I got a deal with Fax Macta.
I love it.
You don't remember it?
I know, because I was just going, oh, they've shown a clip without me in it. Typical BBC. No, I'm so namaste and all that. Yeah. But then I was in it. But I always think I wasn't in it, which is probably why I wrote the book.
But Helen,
just to remember I was in it.
This is like a little bit like the story of the book in a way, isn't
Yes.
it? Your place in that scene, you're very, I don't know, very self-deprecating about the whole thing, because you say there were other people who were much more famous or successful.
Well, that's true. We can't get away from the fact that there were more famous people and there are more famous people. But maybe it's... I think I wrote it that at the beginning of the book, there's a sort of passive-aggressive CV, just to say, actually, but I also had to tell myself that I'm this at the autumn of my life, and I have done those things. And I've been told you actually read the book, which I am astonished and thrilled by. Have you?
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did you like it a bit?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But I was really kind of upset by... There's a phrase at the beginning where I think it's your mum who's talking to you.
Oh.
And she says, stop showing off, Helen.
Yes.
And it feels to me like you're kind of... You've been shaking that off ever since, like almost like apologising.
Yes, I over-empathise with people, by the way. That's another thing I have. So shaking, I'm miming the shaking just to be with you, John. This is body language.
It's all right, we love you. Just relax, we love you, it's fine.
We need more in this world. No, but because I was large, you can't say the other word, large and asthmatic, I missed a lot of school and I did show off a lot just to keep myself entertained. And I do like... But there is that split between making people laugh and then that voice on your shoulder saying, stop showing off. And that's the same with being a woman comedian, because it takes audacity to do it. And then, so you have to be very confident to do it. But it's in my instinct to do it, because I was always messing about. I am a person who just breaks some rules, but not to show off, but just because I have to break rules. It's kind of the way I'm made.
There's a great story in the book, isn't there, where one of your friends' mums phones your mum. And you've done something quite naughty at school.
So naughty. Yeah. I love the way you said quiet. Quite just marginally naughty. Like,
quite naughty
really
at school.
Bad.
And your mum had a chat to you about it, and then she said, I'm just going to have to phone her back and say she was showing off. But actually...
It's bad when a mother of the friend then phones the mother and you just feel that doom and you go, I'm really in trouble now and I can't really lie. Because if you tell a lie, then you have to tell a lot of lies. So one big... Yes, yeah. But... I'm glad you liked it. And the title is supposed to be funny, not that I'm bitter, because obviously I'm not, but only slightly. Just a bit.
Funny bitter.
Yeah, funny bitter.
Funny bitter is
because
bitter.
I was there and I was thinking the 80s and 90s, you know how we connect with programmes, and I'm a bit niche, so people who love the 80s and 90s will get that. And then there's the truth bit. Not that I've made the other bit up, but I am alarmingly truthful. So when people go, alarmingly truthful, it's alarmingly truthful.
Because
and the genie's out of the bottle now, Sally.
Yes, and there are stories in that book that it's not that long ago that all of this happened, but it sounds like it, was lifetimes ago. Some of the things that you had to endure.
Well,
Not easy.
But we use those words now, don't we? But then I'm looking back, like when I was 20, I probably, I'd like to think, behaved differently to how I do now. So you're kind of looking at your younger self, being in that landscape then, and managing it. And so you don't, so your reactions are relevant to that time you're in. So, you know, when we kind of impose current values to then, I'm just bracing myself for some criticism that might come, but it was just how I remember it. And I try and find the comedy in everything, because that's how we manage it. And it's a safe place, it should be. I try and want the reader to feel as hysterical as I do. And then there's that kind of, oh, my God, did she really do that? I go, yes, I did. And I'm surprised that I did. I mean, I've surprised myself. But I just, you know, I mean, have you upset people in your life?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
3. I think probably upset 3 people in 50 years. And so that's not too bad, is it, as a record?
We upset people every day.
there
I
you
just
go.
wouldn't worry.
So put it in a
I
book,
guess
Sally.
you're
Your next book.
Are you nervous about this book? Are you worried
Yeah.
about upsetting people?
Yeah, because I'm that person, like, I feel silences quite well. That's my mother was saying, like, the showing off thing. And then I'm fine. And then I'm one of those people that just says a bit too much. And they go, Helen, that was really great. You were really entertaining until you said that. So the book, I don't have a filter, really. But the publisher said I had to keep everything in. So I have.
For example, you're very honest about taking diet pills.
Yes. That was. I did meet someone at an audition, and they're banned now. But she looked amazing. I mean, she's teeny tiny, and did suggest. So I went off. In those days, you could just get them, and it just meant I did a lot of hoovering, a lot of talking. I was really busy, and I think I just drank wine and some crackers just for a bit. But this is what people did in those days. You see. So, yeah, we all do things, don't we, to try and improve ourselves. It's just, to what lengths do we all go? So it's all in the book.
And do you think, having gone through all the things that you went through then, I know you wouldn't have realised this at the time, but you were all paving the way for this generation of women now. Like you say in the book, you can't move on a panel show now for a female comedian.
Teeming with women, which is great.
So, exactly. And it's certainly a lot better, isn't it?
It's very different now. And as I say, you don't look back and moan, because when you're younger, like in my 30s, I wanted to do it. Why anyone would want to do it, I don't know. But you have to want to do it. So that ambition just keeps you going. And, yeah, it was a very different time. But I didn't do it to be nice to other people. I'm not that nice. I just did it because I wanted to do it so badly. And then I set up the Comedy Women in Print Prize to enable other people to get published, just to do something nice. But it is quite hard being nice to other people all the time. So
Well,
it's
you're
tiring.
nice. I think
you know?
your niceness comes across. There's a lovely story where you try to be nice to June Whitfield.
Oh,
I mean,
this is
I
great.
didn't, because she's such a wonderful person. No, it was people-pleasing, because I was brought up in the 50s and 60s where you have to write thank you letters and ask to get down from the table and things like that. Do you have to
Yes,
ask?
always.
Right. So
Still do.
I hope you're allowed. Awful if you're still at a table now. But anyway, yes, so I did tell that story.
There's June there.
June.
You'd met on Absolutely Fabulous.
I did, and she did the crossword, and she always talked to me, and we would talk about what sandwich we get for lunch and things like that. And then, by mistake, I ended up being her PA by default, because I couldn't say to her, actually, June, I don't know how to get the tickets to see Joanna in this wonderful play. I just
Joanna
didn't...
Lumley?
Joanna Lumley, who was wonderful, wonderful. And in the end, I had to phone up the box office and then got really bad seats at this is true, at the tippy top. And June just walked with the daughter, lovely daughter. We walked all the way up to the top. She never complained, never said anything about it. And then we saw Joanna, and nobody mentioned the fact that I had got her the worst seats in the theatre. And we could barely see. And she nearly tipped over just trying to get sight of Joanna on stage, because we were so high up. But I just wanted to please her.
Oh.
I'm sure she loved it.
So, yeah, maybe she went again with better seats another time, didn't tell me. You never know.
Maybe she'd already seen it.
Yeah, I mean...
You should have said, I'm bringing June Whitfield.
I know,
She's
I
like
tried that on the
royalty.
phone. I tried to at the box office ex-actress. You know how you have to work in a box office, you have to earn your money. And I tried that in a kind of shy voice. Actually, it's for someone kind of June Whitfield. Nothing, just, no, I had the bad seats.
Has writing this book made you less bitter? Have you enjoyed the process?
I'm not bitter, honestly. I just think I'm in the autumn of my life. I keep saying that. That's so sad. Is this that I don't know, but I'm glad I did it. I learned that maybe I am a bit different. But then it's OK now to be different because we're all a bit different, aren't we? So...
What do you mean a bit different?
Well, just that slightly inappropriate. And I know that I alarm people because sometimes I go to book launches and quite a lot of people walk away from me. And I kind of... There was one book launch where I think that's at least 5 people who've walked away. They say hi, but they get... I just got to... And because I'm slightly inappropriate, but... I think that's just how one is, and that's how it is, and the book is there. It's not pretty all the time, but because I couldn't leave things out, being truthful. It's a problem, being truthful.
Helen Lederer, it is lovely to have you here this morning, being truthful with us.
Can I just point out, we're not walking away.
No.
It's just the time we have to go.
I'm OK. Thanks for reassuring
me. We love you, Helen. Thank you.
Sounds like these book launches are going to be very interesting, doesn't it?
Let's go to one.
Not That I'm Bitter, the book is called.